Yo, what's going on, guys? Cordy here, and welcome back to another Paragon video. Today's video, we're gonna be doing a tier list. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just want to get a lot more comfortable with like all the heroes and other roles. This first one we're gonna be going over is the casters. This is one of the roles that I play a lot of. Casters, jungle, and the rangers. These tier lists, it's not to tell you that you're playing something wrong or if this hero is really bad, you shouldn't be playing it. It's just kind of like educating people who aren't really that skilled at the game, and they want to look for heroes to play to give them a little bit of an advantage to learning the game. This is kind of like my reasoning for making this tier list. Another thing about the tier list, I'm not going to go into depth on how to build each character. I'm just going to kind of briefly going over their kit and like why I put them in a certain role. And we're going to be doing multiple of these. So right now we're doing the casters. The next video I might do the junglers, and then so on. We'll go down through all the roles. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe so you can get more future content like this. All right, guys, let's get into the video though. Okay, so I got my mages down here at the bottom. I separated it from the rest of the heroes. There are a few other ones. I'll do some honorable mentions, but again, this is more for your new player getting into the game and trying to understand the game. There's more like high school players who can play other roles or other heroes in different roles. We're just gonna get through the basic. This is your caster, and this is what should be playing. All right, the first hero up is gonna be FaZe. FaZe is a melee mage caster. When I say melee mage, she is an up close caster. You have an ability that locks onto somebody. You pull them to bring them closer to you. That way, when you use your abilities, it's more effective whenever they're close to you. So you want to be close to do your damage. This is why I consider her a melee caster. She's pretty tough at trying to clear the wave safely and doing like your poke, and you don't have really good escape to FaZe. So I'm gonna put FaZe at B. I don't think she's that great. She's definitely playable. I'm not gonna put her at C. She's definitely playable. You have to be very skilled on your positioning and like pathing and people are rotating and reading ganks, because she could be put out of combat pretty easily. All right, so we're gonna put FaZe at B. Belica's a solid caster. She has great clear on the wave. She has great knockup potential on enemies. Her right click does great damage at range, and her ultimate scales whenever they have less mana on the enemy team, and it does true damage. She has a really great ultimate, does a lot of damage. The only bad thing about Belica is she's not really that safe. You have no mobility, you have no escape, and to confirm your damage, you would have to use two abilities to confirm your damage. You have to knock up and then use your right click to guarantee those two damages. If you're not, then you might miss one of those abilities. You might miss the right click because the right click takes a while to detonate, so they could just easily get out of the ability. Belica's pretty solid. I definitely recommend playing her, especially for her ultimate. It's really fun whenever they're super low and they just get depleted or they get deleted. She's pretty fun. I'm gonna put Belica in A. To me, she feels like a really mid-tier caster. Again, she's not really safe. That's the main thing. And then the abilities. You have to use two abilities to actually connect, because it is kind of hard to free cast the abilities just because they take a while to detonate. One of the abilities takes a while to detonate. So I'm gonna put Belica at A tier. Do recommend playing her though. All right, next hero up is gonna be Faye. Faye is probably gonna be my only top tier mage I'm gonna put in here, and I'll explain why on the other ones. Because some people might disagree. That Faye is one of those heroes in rank. She's either top pick, top ban. She's really good. She has great clear. She has a great ultimate, great teamfight ultimate that has great CC on it. She has kind of self peel. She has a speed on her ability. She has a slow on her ability. You could ult to peel somebody off of you, so her safeness is a little bit better than things like Belica and FaZe. Really great caster. I highly recommend playing her and learning Faye. She's really, really good. All right, next person up is going to be Wraith. Wraith is, how can I put Wraith? Wraith is kind of tricky. So he is range, right? People play him. People think that when the Paragon like first released, people were playing him in the carry role. They thought maybe you should build crit with him. People still build crit with him. Then people started to realize like he's more of a. Oh, then people also started playing him support. You know, they thought maybe like, oh, he has wards, he has a rewind, so if someone ganks you can rewind it back. He might be a support player. Now people are starting to play him, or people like majority of people are playing him in the mid lane, which I think is where he's better off in the mid lane. He has good poke. He has annoying poke where you can hit someone from far away without getting any return damage. But that is his only damaging ability. It's really weird how they have his kit. He's like support and range poke with one ability. The support aspect is he can get a free ward, so you can toss out wards. So you can see where the enemy team was warded at or someone's ganking you. You can rewind somebody. You can rewind one person back. So if someone jumps on you, jumps on your teammate or whatever, you can hit them with a rewind, send them back, and you can safely walk away. And then his ultimate is an AoE movement speed invisibility that you give to your teammates. So again, it's another support skill. So it's really weird how they put him. But his one poke, blow cooldown, constantly poke from far away, invisibility. He's good early game. When it comes to like mid late game team fights, he's not that great. He definitely falls off really hard. He's not really that amazing. He'll do good damage because that constant poke they do throughout the entire game, but he doesn't have the big impact like a Faye does with all her abilities, AoE ults, the AoE abilities. He doesn't do that kind of late game damage. I'm gonna put Wraith at B. He's a low tier mage for me. He does a few things pretty well, but when it comes to mid late game team fights, he falls off drastically. I don't think he's that great. All right, next up is gonna be Gadget. Gadget kind of fell off. Gadget at first was really good. She had a lot of poke, a lot of damage, a lot of annoying poke. The bomb lock on was pretty much guaranteed. Does a lot of damage to you, and it force you back out of the way. They nerfed her damage, so it's not that great anymore. Her late game team fight ults is pretty solid, but people can walk out of it. She doesn't have any kind of crowd control. She has a speed, but that's about it. All she really does is damage. And then when it comes to late game, you have no crowd control, really no self pill. You just kind of just throw all your abilities on yourself if you do and hope to kill them before. For me, Gadget's gonna be an A tier. I honestly would prefer having Belica because Belica has CC, at least in her kit. She has some kind of crowd control to help your teammates set up. Gadget's just raw damage, no really crowd control. You have a slow, but that slow people can easily walk out of. I'm gonna put her at A tier, probably behind Belica for me. All right, next up is Gideon. Gideon's really good. Gideon got a buff. They increase his range on his abilities. They increase his damage. He has really great poke. He is probably the safest caster in the game. He has his teleport, and his teammates, people might not know, his teammates can take his teleport as well. They can go in with him. But he has a really great range ability, safest caster, decent clear, great poke. His ultimate is a little bit tricky for newer players to figure out how to play, but I recommend for new players, if you're going to go into a team fight ult, make sure to dash in the air. That way you're kind of out of reach of a lot of damage. And another thing about his ult is making sure you have your teleport, your flash, your starter on off cooldown. That way, if you do dash into the air and use your ability, that whenever you come down, you're not in the middle of a team fight. You're not in a bad position. So what I recommend is teleporting, ulting. Whenever you're done with your ult, flash away, teleport away with your starter. That way it can be free. That way it can be safe away from damage. But Gideon, really good. Again, safest one. I'm gonna put Gideon at S tier. Gideon, really, really safe. I mean, people will argue like this, which definitely understandable. I agree again with that too. But I think Faye is probably the best. Gideon is just like a really solid mage, solid caster. So I'm gonna put him at S tier. All right, Howie. Next up, I personally love Howie. I like out of all these, I think Howie is like really solid. He's probably one of my favorite casters to play. People might not give Howie enough chance, enough credit. The thing that about Howie is kind of tricky is his abilities come out of his like shoulders, right? So his left ability, his Q ability, his rocket, it comes out of his like left shoulder, left like arm. So if you're like too far to the left by a structure, you're gonna hit that structure. The missile's gonna hit that, so you're gonna miss every way. Same with the right ability. The right ability, or his right click, his like slow, his AoE slow, it comes out of his right arm. But with Howie, we'll go over his kit really quick. He has great damage. He has a great AoE zoning ultimate. He has an okay peel. So with his Q and his right click, it's pretty much just raw damage. The raw damage with the right click that has a slow on it. His E ability is a knockback. So with his E ability, what you want to do is if you're getting ganked, you'll drop your knockback on your feet. You'll get on one side of the circle, and hopefully you're putting the distance between the other guy, the ganker, on the other side of the circle. So you're on opposite sides of the circle. You pop your ability, that way you knock forward and he knocks backward. knocks backwards to give you a little bit more distance so he can get out safely. So he's safe in that regards. His ultimate allows him to go in the air. You can stay in the air for a little bit, and you could locate wherever you want to put your ults. Big AoE ultimate ability, so you can, if you're trying to peel for yourself, if you're getting ganked, you can go in the air, ult, look down, ults where you want to go safely, and then you can, as you're coming down, you can kind of like move forward that way. You can like kind of get a little bit of leap. So his ultimate is really good. Late game team fights, it's like a gadget ult. You don't want to be in that area, but with Howie, it's more safe because you can go in the air and position to wherever you want to be. So Howie's really solid caster. I'm going to put Howie at S tier. I think Gideon's better. He's way more safe. He has better poke. Gideon has better poke with like the pull and the meteor, whereas Howie, you can kind of get hit by like minions. But Howie's solid. I definitely put him above Belica because he has more survivability than Belica has. He doesn't have this amazing CC, but just does really great damage, safe. So better than Gadget, better than Belica, in my opinion. Okay, so that is all for the casters. Now I did mention before that there are other roles that can be played in mid. People, you know, sometimes they play Rangers in mid. I'm not really going to go over that. Again, this is more geared towards the newer players to get them into the game. There are a few other heroes that you can play that are mages. You have your melee mage assassins. You have Shinbi and Countess. I like playing them. I think they're really fun in mid. They are a little bit tricky to get online. So I didn't really want to put them into like a tier list, but I just want to give them like honorable mentions. Like these are some heroes that you could potentially play. Just honorable mentions. I didn't want to rank them, but you want to play them, go for it. Try it out in your casual games. But this is the ranking. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you disagree, I'm sure people will disagree with this ranking, but let me know in the comments section below. That way we can just kind of have a conversation about it, a positive conversation about it. If you guys like this video, like the video, subscribe for more content in the future. Check me out on live, twitch.tv/Cordy, Thursday through Sunday. I go live at 6 Central. All the links will be in the description below. But everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.